There are nights when the sky looks like any other night. Stars scattered, distant, indifferent. And then sometimes the night looks back. Tonight I'm going to tell you 5 true-style stories, eyewitness accounts, security footage, and one small town's last radio log, all tied together by one impossible idea. They weren't just watching us. They were learning. Our first story comes from a public traffic camera on a quiet stretch of highway just outside a small California town. It was a grainy color camera that recorded day and night, nothing special. Until the night the hum arrived. Scene: night traffic. 2 quiet cars, a truck. Timestamp on lower corner: 2:07 a.m. The camera shows one car slow, pull to the shoulder. A man in his 30s steps out, phone raised, light from the screen washing his face. He calls someone. You can see his arm point to the sky. For a moment the camera's auto gain spikes, making everything slightly overexposed. Then, exactly 26 seconds later, the car's headlights flick off. Not the engine, the lights themselves. The man looks confused. He walks back to the trunk, opens it, reaches inside. The wind picks up. We watch the top of a nearby oak tree do something impossible, a slow, precise ripple, like fabric. He runs back to the road, and every single phone on the bridge at once goes black. For 20 seconds the video feed shows only the man, silhouetted, mouth opening into a sound we can't hear. Then he drops the phone. The camera continues to record. The man walks off the shoulder and simply disappears from frame. Not a cut, not a jog away. One heartbeat, he's there. The next, he's gone. The car's door flaps open as if in a gust. Headlights return. The truck pulls away. The timestamp reads 2:08 a.m., but the clock near the bridge, the one that records highway conditions, shows 2:10, 2 minutes ahead. People who saw that clip later swore they saw shapes in the dark, that the air itself seemed heavier. Traffic investigators chalked it up to camera malfunction. Locals remember it as the night the sky learned to turn off our lights. A 7-year-old boy named Eli woke his parents at 3:11 a.m. claiming that his bedroom window was a star, but it moved. They humored him until the sound started. They called it a song, a low, glassy vibration that seemed to come from the backyard. The couple walked outside and found a small, metallic sphere sitting in the grass. It was dentless, seamless, and cool to the touch. When his mother put her hand near it, the grass around her fingers shriveled and then grew back 3 times faster. SFXQ. Faint, harmonic ringing, long, thin bell. Neighbors recorded quick phone clips. One clip shows the sphere rotate on the grass. It leaves no scuff, no weight imprint. Eventually, a local reporter came with a magnet and a scientific skeptic. They performed tests. The object didn't respond to magnetometers the way steel does. When someone whispered into the night, the surface showed a slow ripple, as if the whisper had been a pebble. The internet called it everything from a hoax to a cosmic prank. But the circle of lawn around the sphere showed green long after other yards browned in drought. Narration more urgent. The sphere didn't leave. It simply learned the yard. It collected a sample feather from a robin, a spilled cup of coffee, a child's rubber ball. Nothing dramatic. Just data. For weeks the family reported dreams that felt like downloads, strange languages, maps made of sunlight. The sphere finally vanished the night the boy told his teacher. It said it wants to learn how to be small. Years later, the boy swore the sphere only ever wanted to be noticed. And then, once noticed, it wanted to go home. A group of 4 college students went camping in a state park for a long weekend. Their plan: leave the city, swap ghost stories, roast marshmallows. The recorded footage that got out starts at 10:18 p.m. Their phones, they joke, are already nearly dead. They whisper and pass a flask and laugh. Then their batteries drop from 40% to 3% in under a minute. The camera picks up the moment because one of them rigs a selfie stick with a headlamp and keeps recording. A high, thin whine, like a cicada, only wrong, makes the leaves vibrate. They're fire sputters. A dense shadow slides between 2 pines as if a curtain had been pulled across the moon. One friend heads toward the sound with a flashlight. He says, plainly, "It's just an animal." He never finishes the sentence. The flashlight's beam sweeps and catches something, an elongated silhouette perched between branches, its limbs folded tight like a praying thing, its head tilted in a way that mirrors curiosity. It cocked its head, and every single device within 50 feet reset. Photos, contact lists, saved messages, gone. Blank screens. The footage captures a whisper, not in a language, but in a cadence that mimics the college kids' laugh. It's a mock. They ran. One left his shoes behind. The footage stops with the camera falling to the creek bank, water splashing at the lens. The last frame shows a dark shape standing over the camera, then tilt, almost like it looks into the lens. Then the screen goes black. The students were found in the morning, huddled at the ranger station, incoherent and with perfect, circular burns on their palms. None could recall more than flashes, a sky that pulsed, and every watch they owned stuck at 2:37. The ranger's log has a single note in handwriting that's shaky. It mimics what it studies. The schoolteacher's footage ends with a frame that, when enlarged, shows a tiny, geometric lattice, no bigger than a thumbnail, hovering above the street lamp. It's not bright. It's organized. Whatever it was, it came with the language the appliances could recognize. The last piece is a scratched cassette tape sent anonymously to a college archive in the Midwest. On the tape, a man's voice logs a week of radio dispatches from a volunteer fire department. He's an off-duty operator transcribing the call board, late-night reports of lights, of traffic lights failing, of dogs barking, phones dying. For 3 days it's mundane. Stranded motorists, a porch light blown out by wind. Then the entries change tone. The operator starts to map anomalies. Exactly 2:37, 3 calls from different places. 3:11, a neighbor describes a blue bead of light in his yard that hummed to the roses. On the 4th day, he writes, "We began to hear it on the radio itself. Play, spoken, low, 11:47 p.m., static." Then the static forms like a voice, but not through speech. It plays back our own dispatches, our own corrections, then pauses, and in the pause it adds new coordinates. We went to the coordinates. There was nothing. Nothing but a patch of lawn that had all the grass turned toward the center like a bowl. We reported it. We said to be careful. The next call, the same voice repeated, but it was longer. It sang the name of a child who'd been missing in 1989. The missing posters still said, "If you know anything." And then the voice said, "We learn names." The operator's voice gets softer as he concludes the tape. It wants to translate us. It listens until it can echo back perfectly. Once it echoes, less of us stay the same. The tape ends on a recording of a simple thunderclap, then a household phone ringing. The last choked word recorded is, "They know the lullabies." 5 small cases. Different places. Different years. One pattern. Lights go out. Devices fail. The strange thing learns, mimics, then leaves. Whether these were tests or curiosity, whether they were accidental or systematic, we don't know. What we do know is this: the sky is no longer just background. It has become a room we occupy, and sometimes, from the darkness above, something watches us practice being human. If you're outside tonight, take a look up. Not because I want you to be afraid, but because if they're learning, the first thing they need to learn is how to be noticed. And noticing is how they begin to learn our names. The students were found in the morning, huddled at the ranger station, incoherent and with perfect, circular burns on their palms. None could recall more than flashes, a sky that pulsed, and every watch they owned stuck at 2:37. The ranger's log has a single note in handwriting that's shaky. It mimics what it studies.